All right. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. It is a beautiful Monday morning, sunny as hell here in Las Vegas. Actually, we had some rain this morning for once, which is kind of rare. But it's beautiful. It's sunny now. I got lights beaming in on me. So hope you have a great view. I'm really looking forward to today. So I'm going to give a few seconds to allow some people to hop on. What's up? James, what's up? Robert, what's up? Michael, what's up? David and Richard and Susan and Barbara and Linda and Sarah and Nancy. What is going on, everybody? Hope you're all doing really, really well today. We've got an awesome topic today, so super stoked. Let's give a minute to allow some people to hop on. A little summer action. All right. So, what's up, Sandra and Donnie? What's going on? All right. So, glad to have you all here today. I'm going to jump right into it because we have a very, very busy day today. Very busy topic. So, I definitely want to jump right into this and make sure it's an amazing one. So, actually, let me just give one more second. I'm going to allow let me just see something real quick. I just give one more second. I have a group that just asked me to hold on a second. So let me just give them 1 second. This is the deal with having text messages on your on your computer. It's cool. No, I'm glad. We have a group that's part of a company, and there's a larger group. So they just asked if they could give a second to allow some people to hop on. I think they have an 8:30 Monday morning meeting out here in California, and so sometimes they'll be a minute or two behind. So we'll give them a second to jump in. Let me just see. Okay. Okay, perfect. Okay, so it looks like a couple of them have already hopped on. What's up, Siobhan? Hope you're doing well. We have a solid group today, so I'm super stoked, super excited, and we have a great topic. Like, seriously, this topic is so important, so critical. And Siobhan, I'm glad you were able to get in, by the way. Thanks for I know you had some trouble last week, so awesome. Glad you're able to hop in. Here we go, guys. How to develop and live with an abundance mentality, okay? With an abundance mentality. And this topic is so important and actually very near and dear to me because I lived most of my life in the opposite of abundance, and that's in scarcity. And so today we're going to be talking about how to live in an abundance mentality. So this is where it comes from. So this is really critical. And listen, please on this one, this is where it comes from. This is where bad moods come from on a Monday morning. They come from a place of scarcity, okay? If you're in a bad mood on a Monday morning, it's from a place of scarcity. And the reason I can truly speak to this from the bottom of my heart is because I spent so many years of my life living in scarcity, living in not feeling like there was enough. There was too much, things like competition, right? And so, I know literally exactly what it feels like. So instead, though, what if you woke up every day and you lived in a world where there was no competition at work, for your job, for your business? You had anything and everything you ever wanted in your relationships, right? There was an abundance and plenty of money, right? You had plenty of clients. If you're on a sports team, there was tons of teams available for you to play. You didn't have to sit on the bench. What if you had everything you wanted? And everything in your life, listen to me, everything in your life was a win-win. This is having an abundance mentality. So today, I'm going to share with you what an actual abundance mentality is in detail, what triggers scarcity mentality. What is the difference between the two, right? Because you have abundance and you have scarcity. And 3 steps to develop and live in abundance. And this was probably the biggest life-changing experience that I ever had, was switching from a scarcity where I grew up, parents, issues, challenges, to massive abundance. What's up, Brandon? What's up, Brittany? What's up, Fila? I know we had a few more people join. What's up, guys? Listen. And that's what we're going to talk about today. 3 steps at the end to develop and live in abundance versus scarcity. And if you've lived in scarcity or you're living in scarcity right now, you know that feeling. You know that feeling. And you have it, and it hurts. And Monday mornings suck because of it. Or if you're on a different work schedule, that day sucks. That's just the reality. That's literally just the reality. What's up, Brandon? So let's jump into this. All right. Scarcity. Now, I think it's important to know why I'm sharing this topic, why it's so important. And it's because I lived most of my life in this, and I'm going to share some things that you may relate with. Oh, this is not that you may relate to. But to make a long story short, my parents did an amazing job of letting me personally know that I can do anything. Okay. However, with that being said, my parents always lived in a place of scarcity. We didn't have enough money. We didn't have enough this. We didn't have enough that. And it kind of programmed in my mind. And so you may be in the same situation where you have family members, or you grew up in a situation where everything was scarce, right? Like we may run out of money. We may run out of food. We may run out of whatever, right? It's just scarce. And it's not their fault, right? This is like how their parents were raised, and how it's just like trickle down effect. And to break this, you have the ability to break it, right? And so it was just always that feeling of not having enough. But the truth is that this type of thinking makes you feel anxious, fearful, desperate. And for the first, let's say 6 years, 5 to 6 years after college, I lived paycheck to paycheck. And if you lived paycheck to paycheck, a lot of it comes down to scarcity. And it's this vicious cycle that I'm going to share with you a little later, right? So you can get out of that, right? And this was really bad. Like my first years of entrepreneurship, it was always, I'm going to live on friends' couches. I'm going to do this. I'm never going to get out of this because there's not enough out there. And that was the mentality. There's not enough out there. What's up, William? Glad to have you, buddy. And so the second I realized there was plenty, everything changed. Plenty of people, plenty of money, plenty of teams available, plenty of schools, plenty of jobs, there's just so much out there. And you make this switch, and man, your life changes. So we're going to talk through that. But I wanted to share with you why this is an important topic and how this destroyed some of my football days, but also how it accelerated my football days as well, and business days. So you know you have a scarcity mentality when, what's up, Feel? Good day. You know you have a scarcity mentality when you believe everything that is needed for future survival is scarce or running out. If you feel right now, oh my God, money's running out, or oh my God, like I don't know if I'm gonna have enough gas in my car, or I don't know, which you should definitely be careful of. But if everything is scarce, right? Like, oh, what if the grocery store doesn't have enough food, or what if at work, there's not enough opportunity, or there's not enough jobs out there, there's not enough clients out there for success, and everything's running out. This is what you believe when you have a scarce mentality versus everything is important. Everything important, is getting bigger and better as a result of capabilities that make things faster, easier, cheaper for you, right? That's the difference. Scarcity is, oh my God, everything that is needed for future survival is scarce or is running out. And this is how we live. I mean, you could talk. You probably know, right? This is how we live. And I'm telling you, it has everything to do with the environment and the context that you live in right now and you lived in when you were younger. Okay? Again, not their fault, but this is how they were raised. This is what they grew up in. This is just how it goes. What's up, Ishmael? Give me a quick little chat. What's up, Ish? So everything important is getting bigger and better. So this is the scarcity mentality. So here's the question, right? Here's what we need to know. What triggers this scarcity, right? We know it comes from context and environment around us, right? So where does it come from for you, right? And there's one word, and you guys chatted in the box. What's up, Ish? You can chat it in the box. The one word is enough. The one word that triggers scarcity, and we like to keep things simple, is enough. The fact we don't have enough comes from our ego. This is why billionaires still don't have enough, or people with amazing kids and families still don't have enough. It comes from ego. Sometimes we don't understand that this is that deep. This can be very good and can motivate us, right? Which is important. We talk about that all the time. But it's a problem if it lives in our subconscious long term. Okay, so let me simplify that for you. Okay, scarcity can be great for motivation if it's short term, right? Like you have a quick thought, like, oh man, like I am running out of funds for the month. I need to go. I need to get out there and make some more calls. Or I need to get to work early today. Or or I need to get on the practice field a little early, right? Like that's a motivation. The challenge and the problem, and where most people live, is when it's in our subconscious long term, right? And this comes from our environment and our context and our upbringing, right? And this is where I was, right? In this subconscious long term, everything was scarce mentality, right? Another big thing that I've learned, and I put this here as a PS, okay? Because you may do this, and I did this, and it was really, really bad, is I would judge other people's success, okay? So, you see a lot of youth today, like if I go and speak at a university or something like that, probably in high schools, probably in middle schools, possibly in elementary schools today, where people are looking at other people's Instagrams and Facebooks and where they are in their business and where they are in their job and judging, and that immediately creates this massive amounts of scarcity because they're like, oh my God, like I'm never going to have that. If they're winning, I can't win too, right? Scarce people think win, lose versus everybody can always win, right? Scarce people think win, lose. And so I just want to put that out there. If that's something you're doing, you might want to check that out because judging other people is going to destroy you. And you can see that in all the other courses and stuff like that we have, right? So these are the triggers. Now, I want to break down the difference. Excuse me. My daughter goes to a new school, and man, every week she brings home some new fun. So excuse me. Okay, so what is the difference? And let's start with money, right? Money is a topic people tend to shy away from. You hear things when you're growing up like money is the root of all evil. You learn and you feel having too much money is a bad thing. And your relationship with money really dictates a lot of your joy in life, right? And I like to be transparent. I went through a mind training program. It was a hefty investment, and it really shifted my view of money and my relationship with money. And so I ask you, what is your relationship with money right now? Literally, what is your relationship with money? Do you feel deep down inside that if you have too much of it, that other people can't also have too much of it? Do you feel that way? Just be honest. Do you feel like, you're afraid to have too much of it or to bring too much of it into your life because you're afraid of what people think about you, because you're afraid that you can't create win-wins for other people? And that's how most people live, right? Other people literally play the money game to win. They're willing to promote themselves. They let money work hard for them. And they're committed to being wealthy. And they do this not in a sense of like, I want to take money so someone else can't have it. They have the mindset of I would love to have as much as I can because I love it and I feel like it's a great thing and it can provide, and I want to give it. I want to give it to other people. I want to give it to a cause, give it to something I believe in. Why? Because there's an abundance of it. There's so much out there, and literally, if you still have this mindset after watching $4 trillion get pumped into the market, gotta wake up, right? So this is how scarce people think. They say things like, I don't want to lose at the game. I don't want to lose at the game of money. I don't like selling or promoting. I don't do that. That's not for me. Even though it's just a skill. It's like learning how to ride a bike, right? I have to work extremely hard for it. And I won't ever be wealthy. It's just not in the cards for me. It's not how I grew up. It's it's going to make my friends not like me. And this is a big mentality shift that shifts joy because there's two things, right? Time and money. And when you have money, that gives you much more time, right? Now, there's certain people that can still generate a lot of money but want to spend their time doing the things they love, which is playing. So it's funny. My wife goes to my daughter, Richie's working because we have a home office. We have an office. We're just opening downtown, but we have a home office. And my daughter goes, Daddy working? Daddy working? I go, no. Daddy playing, right? It's just a mentality switch. That's all it is. It's a mentality, right? So that's the difference when it comes to money. I'm going to break down 3 more. Success. Successful people think big. They think big. They act, even if they're scared as hell, they act. They know that when they're feeling scared, they got to go. Like we just hired another person for a role we've never had before. And I have to say, I was feeling scared as hell. Like I was scared. I was like, do we really need it? Do I want to spend this funding? And then it's immediately like, hold on, stop. And I'm going to share a system with you in a little bit. But it was like, stop. I can't act scared. Right? And then they also admire successful people. And they admire people with money. And they say things like, not like, oh man, that person has all this because they cheated the system or they screwed people over. And most people that do have wealth and have success and whatever that means to you only did it because they were in transactions with other people that made those other people successful in one way or the other. Like mutually beneficial transactions, right? So the other way scarce people think about success is that thinking big is like disappointing. And they say things like, I'm often so scared that I end up not trying at all. What do people think? Oh my God, what if I get rejected? What do people think about me? They resent people with money and success. And they don't ask the question. They say things like, oh, that person cheated, that person this, instead of walking up to the person and saying, how did you do it? How do I get there? How do I get there? How do I get to that place? That's the difference. Scarce and abundance. Relationships. This is what people with abundance say. My relationships are always growing and evolving. Everyone is doing their best with what they know. I take 100% responsibility for the quality of my relationships. What's happening in my relationships is not my partner's fault. It's not my kid's fault. It's not my parents' fault. Everything, the way they act, the things that they do, the way they respond is all a accumulation of of the decisions, choices, and actions that I take, right? And they love to collaborate. Abundant people love to collaborate and network, and they're on lives like this, and they never miss our group coaching sessions on Wednesdays. And they're abundant. They're abundant. Whereas scarce people feel like, oh, my relationships are either meant to be or not. It's their fault. It's that person's fault. Everyone is out to get me and cannot be trusted. I blame everyone else that took I blame everyone else as to why the quality of my relationships are garbage. And I am competitive no matter what happens to others, as opposed to a win-win, right? We focus on win-win. I don't want to get into a transaction with anybody unless it's a win-win. Hell no. Why would anybody want that? Literally, why would anybody want to get into a transaction that's not a win? I don't. That's relationships. It's not just like spouse and partners, right? Or husband and wives or whatever. It's your client relationships. It's your fam. It's your son or your daughters or your parents, right? And so this is how they look at relationships. And the last one is health, right? The last one's health, and this is what abundance people say. I love my body even with the imperfections. I play a direct role in the quality of my health. Abundant people say I have unlimited resources to improve my health at every level. Abundant resources. Where people who aren't abundant say I hate my body and the genetics I've been cursed with. They don't say, hey, look, I'm 5'7", 150 pounds. I wanted to play Division I college football, but I'm 5'7", 150. I don't have those genetics that those guys had. What you're looking at on the screen right now, I had to bust my ass for 15 years to have that, right? When I walk into the facility when I was playing football at Ole Miss, I walked into the facility and these guys they didn't even work out. They never worked out a day in their life. I'm like, how the hell do you have that? You've never even worked out. How is that possible? Whereas scarce people say, I hate my body and the genetics I've been cursed with. I have no control over the state of my health at all. I have no control. I don't know what to do and leave my health in others' hands. Right? Yeah, like we coach people. But we're not going to do it for it. We can't do it. That hasn't happened yet. There hasn't been a thing out there yet where the trainer can actually do it for you, where the coach can actually do it for you. There's no done-for-you fitness program yet. I'm not to say that we won't get to it, but there's no done-for-you fitness program yet. You still got to do the damn work. And it sucks, and it hurts, and it's uncomfortable. But starting with love versus hate in yourself. So my question for you is, do you love yourself? Maybe you don't look the way you want to look right now. Maybe you don't feel the way you want to feel right now. But do you love yourself? Can you come from a place of, you know what, I'm not where I want to be. I made some mistakes, but I love myself. I love the genetics that I have, and I'm going to go all in with what I have. That's an abundant versus a scarcity mindset. So the question is, how do we live in abundance versus scarcity? And that's what we want for you, right? To live in a place of abundance. You're here on a Monday morning to start your week off with a bang. So here's a 3-step system to retrain your mind to be on your team versus an enemy. Like we don't want to be like this. We want to be on the same teams. And so the first step is to give yourself permission to be successful. Give yourself permission to be successful. Some of you are self-sabotaging. Some of y'all are crushing yourselves, whether it's in health, whether it's in relationships, whether it's in power, whether it's in wealth. You're sabotaging yourself. I'm getting a little loading issue here. You're sabotaging your own success. So I urge you, I implore you to give yourself permission and say, you know what? Today, starting on July 19th at 9:25 a.m. or whatever time you're at in your time zone. I know we got a lot of people on the East Coast. I'm going to give myself permission today to have the body that I want, to look the way that I want, to feel the way that I want, to have however much money that I want. I want you to give yourself permission. Most people don't believe they're worthy, and that's why they're not worthy. They don't believe they're worthy of having the body. They think it's only for special people. They're not worthy of having the wealth. It's for special people. They're not worthy of having the amazing relationship because it's for special people. But I'm here to tell you you're wrong. You are worth it. It starts with you giving yourself permission, though. You have to give yourself permission to have this, to live in abundance. So number one, give yourself permission. Number two, you must train your subconscious. We said this, right? Scarcity can be an amazing motivation to go out and get what you want if it's short-lived. The problem is that most of us, it lives in our subconscious because of our upbringing, because of our environment, because of our context, because we've lived the way we lived our lives, right? So what do? So I'm a huge fan and a component of vision boards. I have vision boards on my phone. I have vision boards pretty much everywhere. I literally have vision boards everywhere. It's super important. I'm a huge component of vision boards, and I urge you and I implore you to make a vision board of what it is that you want and live in it and see it every day. Like, for example, if someone on my team has a specific goal, I tell them, okay, perfect, put that everywhere. I want you to see that number everywhere. I want you to see what that picture looks like everywhere. Okay? And instead of saying, I hope to do that one day, say, I'm strategizing how to do that now. So if you have this vision of what you want to look like, how you want to feel, don't say, I'll hope to have that one day. Say, I'm strategizing how to do that right now. I'm working with my coach to do that right now. I'm in the gym working on that right now. I'm in the office. I'm in my business. I'm on the field to do that right now. Instead of thinking, I will be happy when I'm in a different place in my life, think I am completely capable of being happy right now, right here and right now. And nothing's holding me back. Because I'm in this place of abundance and I'm going to have that. I'm going to have all those things you envision, right? You're just going to have it. So you might as well be happy and enjoy the process. That's how you train your subconscious. You got to enjoy the process. Vision. You envision it. And then you say things like, I am in this right now. This is it. But your subconscious runs your life. It's not your conscious, it's your subconscious. So we have to retrain it from all the past environment and culture and context that you've lived in. And number three, cut off the damn news. I know this sounds simple, but when I was working with this organization, or this guy, I guess you could say, when I was working on retraining my mind, this was the last thing he told me to do. And sometimes I fall into the trap, but cut off the news. When you're on your commute each morning, whether you're walking, if you're in a city, you're driving, listen to a motivational talk. Listen to motivational YouTube. I mean, there are hundreds on YouTube. Listen to courses in Relentless University. Listen to past lives that you haven't had a chance to listen to. Listen to podcasts. We're launching one. We're super pumped. Listen to podcasts. Anything but the news. The news is meant to make you unhappy. So cut it off. Very simple. So my challenge for you this week is 3 things. Number 1, I want you to give yourself permission to be successful. In power, health, wealth, relationships. Give yourself permission to be successful. I know this is a hard thing to do, but I need you to do this. I need you to give yourself permission to be successful. Create a vision board, okay? The next step for my challenge for you is to create a vision board. It's very simply create a vision board. It's so simple. Okay, here's how you create a vision board. You go on the internet and you Google different things like images. You go to Google Images and you literally type in like, hey, I want to have I want to look this way. I want to feel this way. I want to have this thing. I want to and you can, and then on a document, on a Word, whatever, but there you can Google vision board and there's tons of softwares that'll do it for you. But you take these images and you just put them on a thing. Like my phone, my screensaver is a bunch of images of the future. And what's crazy is the original vision board that I made like 3 or 4 years ago. No, excuse me. When I was I think I was 24. Like a lot of those are like life. a lot of those came to life. It's just how it works. All right. And then number 3 is to cut off the news. So 1, I want you this week to give yourself permission. Number 2, create a vision. And let's retrain your subconscious. And number 3, cut off the negativity in the news. I want to keep it very simple this week. Every week we do it simple. It's simple. All of this is simple. Don't overthink it. The people that you perceive as more successful aren't any smarter, any better, any more talented. No, they're none of them. They just do a couple things a little bit differently. So it is 9:30 on the dot, y'all. At 9:30 on the dot. Look, I want you to have an amazing week. This week for you is all about giving yourself permission in power, health, wealth, and relationships. Give yourself permission to be a badass, to be relentless, right? So my question for you is, what's the most important play, right? The next play. So have an amazing week. Have an amazing Monday. Have an amazing week. For a lot of you, I'll see you on the group call on Wednesday. And if not, I'll see you all next Monday morning. But have an amazing week. Take relentless action as always. And thanks for just being badasses. I'll see y'all on Wednesday.